Hey guys, welcome to another podcast. I just wanted to discuss grounding in this one. It's something I haven't really written about or spoken about much. And the reason why is because certainly it's something that I've struggled with in different elements of things I've been doing over the last few years / life in general. And there's also just been a tremendous amount of genius people that I've become friends with and have been surrounded by, who are very creative, who are very have lots of potential, but that grounding element that I've struggled with has also been a struggle for them. And these brilliant ideas that they may have from what I've seen, is just really hard to bring into fruition. So the grounding aspect of manifestation, of creating, is the key ingredient to actually creating, to actually doing, and to actually having something put into the world. So I thought I'd discuss and speak to the elements of grounding and what it's about. So perhaps first just touch on what can cause us to become ungrounded. And certainly from my experiences, what I found is just the simple things, like being, amongst nature, in the earth, barefoot, all these things that you know about, like really connecting to the earth, spending too much time indoors under fluorescent lights at a computer screen, etc., can really bring about that ungroundedness. Also, drugs, too many drugs, whether it's weed or you're dabbling in psychedelics, etc. There's certainly, I'd say it's a big issue around the inability to ground and connect in this physical reality through the overuse of drugs, medicines, some people might want to say. And it's ultimately a hindrance to the potential of those who have that ability to really affect positive change in this world. There's many other factors at play as well, past experiences, etc., our physical environment, where we live, our geography, things like that. But there's different elements that can be worked on to help with that. I think for me, grounding is a very, very, is one of my most important aspects of my life, given I can be quite heady, I can be quite in my head, and I can also venture out and experience quite interesting and amazing things. But in doing that, I can forget to bring it back down to this reality, whatever this reality is. But you know what I mean? Like into this physical presence. And I found just the simple notion of presence and just being present in the moment is a positive and important first step on achieving groundedness. Just being aware of myself, my surroundings, what's going on around me, what's going on within me, paying attention to this physical form, like how do I feel, even like how do I feel against this chair, sitting in this chair, or how does my internal body feel, how does my organs feel, what am I thinking, how is my mind. That's an important first step in that. And so to go back to what I was discussing as far as reasons why we get out of our groundedness, so to achieve it, to get back into it, is to do things that we evolved doing, but being out in nature, being out in the environment, barefoot, really connecting with the earth, connecting with the trees, connecting with the ocean. That is groundedness, and spending a good amount of time in that harmonic is a way to describe it, can really help us to bring us back into ourselves, bring us back to the present, and then move on to create from there. There's other important elements to groundedness in relation to creating, and that's been able to move through from the ethereal bodies to the physical bodies and into the emotional bodies. All of those things line up to connect our groundedness to this earth. So we can do things like visualization. So visualize a tether from our crown chakra and above through to our lower chakras and into the core of the earth. That's a really, for me, I found to be a great way to really be able to bring that in and through, is to really just use that element of visualization. If you can use any type of visualization, sometimes I use like a sword running through there. Could be a piece of string, it doesn't matter, or like some energy field, whatever it may be. But having that understanding, that connection from the ethereal, the extra dimensional, down through our bodies and into the core of this earth, can really set up that groundedness. So that brings the ether into the physical, and then the emotional body, which I touched on, which is understanding how am I emotionally feeling while I'm doing this. So now that I'm grounded, how do I feel emotional? Do I feel passive? Do I feel angry? What are the elements of that play that are working in to be able to create in this physical reality? So becoming aware of that and being in that state of presence really helps to inform where we're at with that. Again, it's a cycle. Like, it really brings one feeds into each other. So the presence feeds into the groundedness, which feeds into our ability to connect to the earth, and then our ability to not only create with an idea, but also implement physically. So, holding space for not only ourselves but for the people around us takes a tremendous amount of groundedness. So it's very hard to be able to hold space for, first and foremost, ourselves, and again for those around us, if we're not feeling grounded, if we're not grounded. So one of the biggest gifts that you can give someone is to hold space for them to be able to feel into what they're feeling, to be aware and accountable of what they're feeling, with you as an individual holding space for them. It's very hard to do that if we're feeling ungrounded. So again, that's a really important aspect of it. And then, the ability to bring something into this world. It's again, I have people in my life who I would consider to be on the genius level, who find it difficult to manifest physically, and if it's done so, it's done with a lot of effort and takes a lot of effort, takes a toll on the human body, where there can be an effortlessness to it. Now, I'm not saying I'm there for sure. Like I struggle myself. I struggle myself with being able to create and bring that into the physical reality. I do my best with my artwork and these podcasts, my writing, etc. But there's much more that I would like to do. But when I'm feeling ungrounded, it makes it that much tougher to be able to bring into this world. So, but that's the thing. That's what this world needs. We need creativity. I really firmly believe that creativity is what's going to save the day, is what's going to propel us forward as a human species living on this earth, or living in this earth, I should say. And the groundedness is an important part of that. If we're not grounded, we can't bring that in. We can't bring it through that ether, the imagination reality, the dream reality, and into this physical world. And if we do so, it can take a tremendous toll on our being, both our physical, emotional, spiritual, and energetic body, if we not have that connection to the earth. So, and also that connection to the earth, it helps with getting just the elemental forces of the earth to help create as well. So Especially if you think of something like, I don't know, something simple like building a sandcastle or modeling clay or whittling wood, things like that. When we're doing that and we're fully grounded in what we're doing and fully present, then some amazing creativity comes into work, and there's an interplay between the two, between the elemental forces and us as individuals, or us as a group collective. So so there's lots to it. It's a very important facet of the human experience that really gets missed out on, especially in these days of technology, where distraction is the number one marketing tool, is the number one thing driving our force. Our attention is what marketers and advertisers, social media platforms, etc., are looking for. And then when we're not attentive, we're not able to ground and create and do and even be. Really, we're not really living, we're just existing. So we have the power within us to be able to do that, though. We have the power to be our own gods, to be able to create as our own gods, using the canvas that we've been given here on this earth to bring about a physical reality that we feel is beautiful. So we have many forces at play coming to help us, and it's very easy to get lost in the more ethereal realms, to get lost into those dream states. And there's nothing wrong with being there. I'm not saying that at all. It can be a wonderful experience, but if we don't take time to also ground and implement that and to integrate that into this physical reality, then, well, hey, maybe it doesn't matter, and then that's fine. But for those of you watching this who are wanting to be able to bring it into this reality and wanting to actually manifest physically the ideas and the creative sparks that you have, then for me, I've certainly found that finding that groundedness is key to that. So yeah, that's about it for that. I think it's something that I've noticed, again, within myself and others around me, that there's certainly loss of potential without it. So it's something important to look at and to think about and to experience. And there's many ways to be able to do it. It's just about finding what's true to you and doing that. So yeah, thanks guys. If you have any questions or would like to make any comments about it or have a chat about the idea around grounding and what it means and how I can do it, please hit me up. And until next time, I'll see you later.